Hello, dear people of the internet. You're very welcome to a Gauntlet Hangouts game. For those who don't know, the Gauntlet is a rad role playing community on the internet where lots of cool, like minded people come together and play cool role playing games. Usually story games, indie games, OSR games, all that sort. You can find them at gauntlet-rpg.com. And yeah, speaking of RPGs, the one we're playing today is Masks: A New Generation. It's teen superheroes powered by the apocalypse. It's all about identity. It's all about trying to figure out who you are through the medium of punching people who probably deserved it. And we're using a unique playset for this game. We're using the Phoenix Academy playset written by Rob Wyland. You can find it on the Masks Unbound supplement. Links down below. But before we get into the nitty gritty of that, let's first introduce our wonderful cast of players. I'm going to go reverse order of what I see in the screen. So just tell folks name, pronoun to use, and shout out a cool thing on the internet. Whether you're involved with it or not, just give them a shout out. And anything you shout out, links down below as always. I'll start the opposite of the alphabetical order. I'll start with yourself, Sabine.
So I'm Sabine, and I am going to play Rafael Montero, who is also in his superhero identity called Danger Mouse. Rafael is a political activist. Some say he might be a delinquent, but he doesn't see himself that way. He can create illusions by using spray cans and creating illusions out of these colors. He can also paint doors on walls and walk through them, which is kind of neat. So, yeah, and I would like to give a shout out to the Girl Underground Kickstarter by Jesse Ross and Laura McManaman, I think it's pronounced. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a cool show. People should check that out. Get their hands on it before, I don't know. Well, there's still plenty of time, but yeah, links down below. Girl Underground is great. Up next, we have Ludo.
So I'm Ludo, and I'm be playing Cassie Dread, whose birth name is Sedeniat Sedovna Dread the second, and whose superhero identity is Regicide. They are the clone daughter of an international conqueror from another dimension where Earth was destroyed by the conflict between superheroes, and she has recently took the mantle of regicide to fight off figures of authority, just like her mother or the bird fascists of the Tangee that recently invaded Earth, or to be precise, Prospect City. And she is recently trying to go back to living a normal life, and what is more normal to a teenager than go back to school? And as a cool shout out, I went to give a shout out to the Shadows in the West podcast, especially because they in the last, literally today, anyway, in the last 2 weeks, they both started a new arc, which is a pretty jumping point for people to start listening. And they also announced the Legends of the Five Rings zine initiative, in which they want to basically have material and creations by authors that see Legends of the Five Rings through the eyes of people of marginalized backgrounds that are not usually heard.
Picked the wrong time to drink coffee there. I'm sorry. Yeah, that sounds really cool. Again, links down below. Check those out. Those interest you folks. Up next, we have Alan, whose character is returning from the brink of death.
Yeah, my name's Alan, and I'm playing a returning character in Leandro's sequence of mask games. His name in school, which is where we're at, is Michael Manners, who appears to be a British schoolboy in a British school uniform, who has been orphaned through a tragic accident. His superhero identity is Freak. He's a transformed. He's an intelligent nanoswarm that can take on the form of a large 8-foot clawed troll. And Michael's defining characteristic is anger, really. He's really pissed off at the world. cool stuff on the internet. I'd go no further than the Gauntlet. Actually, if you don't know the Gauntlet, you should do, and you should back it on Patreon.
Yeah, you should. Back on Patreon. Come play with us. We're cool people, as you'll see if you watch the rest of this session. And last but not least, Agatha, tell us about yourself.
Hey, I'm Agatha, and I'm playing Enid Park, aka Glow Train, aka Plath. She is the innocent. So she's from the past. She's, I think, like, she was born in the 80s, so she's a 90s kid. I don't know if that's how that works. She's a teen in the 90s. And so her superhero name from the 90s was Glow Train. She's now in the present. She time jumped and accidentally encountered her future self, aka the present self. Not old either. Whose name is Plath. A superhero name is Plath. And she's kind of like, I think it was a shocking experience. Plath is not who she thought she was going to grow up to be. She thought she was going to be like Chrome for life, rollerblading all around, doing cool things, just being a hero. And Plath was definitely not doing that. So let's see. I don't know. Was there anything else that I needed to add? I think she like got into the school because like, I don't know, like she encountered a faculty or something that maybe has something to do with Plath. Who knows?
Ooh. Maybe we'll find that out. There are some backstory questions I'll ask you later on. But before that, do you have anything cool you want to shout out? You do lots of cool things.
I didn't realize that we were supposed to do shout outs, so well, I guess I'll just do some self-promotion then. Okay, I'm gonna shout out to my the mask game that I'm going to be running for my some of the people from Asians Represent, and then like one other special guest. And this is gonna be a thing that we're doing. Our first episode is gonna come out sometime this month. It's also masks, so no links available yet, but it will be up.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, so before I ask you backstory questions, and we'll move on to like figuring out the rest of this this school and how it works. I'll run through like the safety tools we have because Gauntlet tries to make sure everyone's in a safe and comfortable environment. First off, we talked about this pre-broadcast, but we have our lines and veils for people to know. Lines are things that won't be crossed, things that just won't show up on in the fiction or on screen. Veils can be alluded to. They happen in fiction, but they're not going to, they're not going to show explicitly on screen. We also have the X card for anyone who feels if play has strayed into a section they find uncomfortable or they don't want to see. You can say X on the chat or on camera or on the Roll for Your Party, which is linked in the chat there. Just scroll up. The Andrew strikes again. Look, I'm sorry. That's just how my spiel works. I'll link the Roll for Your Party again, but yeah. So and if when the X card is brought up, no one gets to question why it's brought up. We will just roll back and redact what's happening. And we also have the open table policy. So basically, if anyone needs to go for any reason, whether you're just feeling too tired or an emergency has happened or you just need to step away for 5 minutes or for the rest of the session, perfectly fine. Feel free to use that at any time, and we'll roll along as things progress and whatnot. So that's always on the offer. All right, so I guess I should explain just a bit about the premise. Like I said, we are using the Phoenix Academy playset by Rob Weiland, which is superhero school, because that's one of the more fun and weird staples of superhero comics. What's the best way to brighten up school experience? Superpowers and teenagers. So and obviously that'll mean that this school is gonna be like weirder than, and weirder than most, because you're being taught how to be a superhero, basically, and also stuff like history and math. That's still enough for some reason. So the Phoenix Academy playset allows for that. There's some cool new moves and some changes to character creation, but we're not really in Phoenix Academy, because Phoenix Academy is up in Halcyon City. Halcyon City, the nice place, the nice shining city in the hill. But this is Prospect City. We're still in the same city that we've been running since December. It's not the best place in the world. It's all right. It's fine. Atlantic City is fine, but their superhero school is not. This is the last time I'll mention this, but the Prospect Academy is the 11th best superhero school in the world, even though there's only 4 of them. It's kind of tragic how that happened, but so it goes. So it's got a weird mix of faculty and and its alumni is just, that's a weird thing. Its alumni are people who went on to do normal jobs, but they just have superpowers. Like an arbologist who has like the spirit of a squirrel in her. That's kind of like one of the alumni from Prospect Academy. That's the kind of sort of thing you get. So that's what we're kind of aiming for, like teenage melodrama, but with superpowers. It's like an inverse Monster Hearts. Instead of, I don't know, it might get dark, but people will make out. But it'll be a bit more silly. We have a superhero named Glow Train. Like, yeah. Oh my, it is. Oh my God, you're from the 90s. It is 10 things I. Oh my God. It is gonna be 10 things I hate about you. Is it? It's gonna be that soundtrack and God. Yeah, it is basically. Yeah, exactly. People are saying in the chat, 10 things about you, Mean Girls. Exactly. Think high school. Think American high school. Like, we're not gonna get like Riverdale levels of silliness, but Ludo, I see you getting ideas. No, we're not. Well, play to find out what happens, I guess. Oh no, I shouldn't have said those words. But yeah, I'm expecting this to be like, yeah, I was talking about this pre-broadcast. I was panicking because, like, oh man, I don't know anything about the American high school system. Like how do classes work? Like, is there like dances? What? That they realized, wait, none of us here are went to American high school. So apologies to Americans. No, I shouldn't apologize. Yeah, so this is gonna be lighter than like the previous stuff we've done, because we're coming off of Iron Red Soldiers, which was an alien invasion, an occupied city, fascist oppression. Here we're going to school, and I mean, yeah, you can make your Marxist critiques about school or whatever, but we're not here for that. We're here to have fun a bit. Maybe we'll get into some Marxist critiques about school, but no, we're kind of aiming for something just light and dramatic. It's emotional melodrama, but we're not gonna get dark. Well, we might get a bit dark and edgy because again, we have an innocent, and that they kind of play in that like innocence lost sort of trope of seeing where you go. But we'll see. That's kind of like what I'm aiming for. So speaking of innocent, do you mind if I ask some of your backstory questions there?
Go for it.
All right, cool. So we'll just go down the line. So, who or what brought you to the present?
Question.
Oh, go on.
Oh, I think it was one of the school faculty.
Ooh.
They have sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go on. No. Finish your thought.
And they have like an invested interest. They have a vested interest in seeing me not go down the same path. Or should I say path? Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'll keep it in mind. Do you know who it is? Or
I was hoping that I could just use whatever like school faculty, like, because I'm sure there's like an existing list, so I could just like hop on that train.
I've half made a list. It's on the NPCs tab, but you can totally make a new one if you want.
I don't really want to. I want to tie into like this world that you made already. So
okay. But the thing is, most of these are kind of new characters. Because when I was thinking about like bringing back some people, there's like one person who's coming back, but the rest are kind of newish. I might change that. And again, people, because we're gonna get into like faculty questions later, and will be free to invent like add new faculty members. And I was asking because, oh sorry,
I want it to be a dude. That's my only specification. Is there?
That's the thing. That's why I asked, because like of the existing list, I don't think anyone here will fit someone who would bring you in. There is one time traveler, but they're an angry killbot AI from the future. I don't know if they'd have a.
Is there any possibility? We know that Freak interfaced with a number of time stream energies at several times in the previous series.
Yes.
Could that have accidentally sucked Glow Train from the past?
Oh,
so it's not like
messing with time.
Thing. Sorry, say that again, Agatha.
Oh, so it's not like an intentional thing.
It's a suggestion. Like, do you want it to be intentional or unintentional? Like you just plucked air here, or do you want to go with you were intentionally brought here by someone?
Because it's conceivable that Freak had a vision of the past as well as the future when he was strung up to that time stream harnessy thing.
So, like, is your conception of time not the same? Like, it's not linear then? Are you constantly experiencing both? I didn't quite.
No, in the previous series, Freak interfaced with the invading bird aliens. This sounds bizarre in hindsight. Had a kind of time energy dimensional sensor that Freak interfaced with. And then in the climax of that series, he was being torn apart by their channeled time and dimensional energy, if I understood that right from the recording, Leandro, because I was just a MacGuffin in that last session. So I'm just wondering, while he was connected to all that stuff, whether he either deliberately or accidentally, he sent Hero back into the future. Could he have sucked Glow Train into the present?
It's an interesting suggestion, but I think what your earlier suggestion, Agatha, was like you wanted a faculty member, right?
Yeah, I could. I think how I got here, it could be like futzed around. So it could be that like sure, I was like jettisoned with this weird disruption in the space-time continuum. But regardless, I would like to meet a faculty who is then I want there to be like a purposeful, like, and then someone with their own agenda involving me in the school, instead of me just kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna wander up to this school and like school.
Definitely, you can be sucked in by Freak interface with space-time continuum. But I like the idea of like there's a faculty member in this school who kind of maybe met you in the past when they were students and knew you, and then saw you turn into this like dark anti-hero over the years, and then now they see you from the past. He now has a second chance to make things right. So because Freak brought you here accidentally.
And he's like, great, let me just fix some problems. I would like him, Ludo. I would like him to be the history teacher, and I would like his name, at least a part of his name, to be Wyatt, because I'm really attached to that name.
Ooh. Is that a first name or a last name?
That's a first name.
Oh, okay. I've seen it used for a last name as well. It could be either. Yeah, Wyatt. Let's start from there. All right. So when did you first meet your future self?
When I first got here.
Ooh, it's like that's the first. Oh my god.
I am white.
All right. So how is your future self the embodiment of a future? Hold on, this is not formatted right. Wait. Oh, I guess I never finished that question. Let me go back to the sheet. How is your future self the embodiment of a future you never wanted?
Oh, I see. I feel like this made me more of a teenager than necessarily a superhero kind of answer, because I think Plath is just, she's like really beaten down by life and really jaded and bitter in a way that I think a lot of millennials are, because she's I think she'd be in her 30s, like maybe like mid 30s, so maybe she's just like on the front end of the millennial generation. And there's something about how everything that was promised to us that didn't get fulfilled, that is really disappointing to me. And I don't know if it's necessarily like I feel like she's like a bad person, but it's like all the things that I thought were going to be true, that I would be, is not it at all.
Oh, that's a bit of a big mood there.
Bleed.
All right. So, what's your favorite part of life in the future, and also your least favorite part?
My favorite part of life in the future is Instagram.
Fair enough.
My least favorite part is feeling like an outsider. So like I used to get made fun of a lot because I grew up like around Atlanta, which a lot of East Asians. I'm making assumptions. Sorry, America. At least let's say where I grew up, there weren't a lot of East Asians. So I was already an outsider. And now here, like I'm not an outsider in that sense, but I am in that I don't get it. Like people say things and I don't get it. And I really hate that feeling.
Yeah, like maybe someone spoiled the ending of Friends to you, and like
no, it's that
sorry.
People would say like mood, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. But I can't just be like, what does that mean? Because then they would laugh at me. But I'll still ask because that's my move.
Yeah, and one last question. I'm gonna ask everyone else. They have a variation of this question as well because we're a new team, and so I'm gonna ask everyone else this. But yours is, why are you determined to stay in the present with this team, with this specific bunch?
Oh, should I answer first? Because I don't know anything about this
team.
Team.
Well, actually, no. We'll go to everyone else's actually, because I think you kind of got. I don't think I'll go to everyone else's backstory questions because of time, but get everyone to like reintroduce themselves, and I'll ask them why they care about this lot. Kind of like go to a rundown of your backstory.
Is this a boarding school, or do we go home after our lessons?
I think there's options to board. I think they at the very least, that's like one humanitarian thing. It's like, look, some people who might need training or whatnot, or some people who are like, from the street, because there's a clean slate program they do with Aegis where they bring in like super villains or kids or kids down the wrong path and maybe give them boarding. So
boarding school is fine.
Yeah. So there's options for that, but maybe some people who just don't live there. Like there's a bunch of people who are kind of like Janice types who come to school in their superhero identity and never reveal their civilian self. So there are probably some kids like that. I'm imagining, because there's cliques and clubs in this setting, so I'm almost imagining there's an entire club of like future superheroes of America, and they just wear their costumes. And oh god, well, we'll get to that. But yeah, I'm gonna go to like everyone else's backstory questions. Just run through them so you get a sense of the team. And then we'll see why Glow Train likes these dorks. I'll go backwards from the character keeper. Start with Freak there.
Okay. So Freak is going to school in his normal mode. His normal mode is Michael Manners in his British school uniform. He's been told by Aegis that he's going to school to work on being mundane, and so his objective is to stay mundane as much as possible, and hopefully not freak out, which transforms him into that 8-foot tall shiny troll. he's because I don't think anybody currently in the team knows him as both Michael and Freak. The game I played in with Danger Mouse, I don't think he revealed his identity to Danger Mouse, and he only appeared at Freak
I don't think I even met him. Danger Mouse was only there for the first session, so
yeah, you kind of replaced Danger Mouse.
Yeah, you're quite right. I slotted into your empty seat. And Casey, I think, only ever saw him as Freak in the more recent adventure. And his underlying characteristic is anger, which is probably transformed in his schoolboy guise as kind of sullenness. And his moves, just for completion, he can adopt that monstrous form and frighten people. He can take very powerful physical blows because he can separate his intelligence, his consciousness, if you will, from the swarm of nanites that actually make up his body. He can, when he's in his monstrous form, deal out a little bit more harm when he's attacking someone. Abilities: transmuting flesh, impenetrable armor, inhuman might when he chooses to make his nanites dense, and technopathy, which is his ability to extrude into mechanical and electronic devices filaments of nanites and attempt to take control of them.
I love that one of your answers here is just you're just too angry, and you've had that angry condition for like 2 separate series now. You picked that up in December, you still haven't gotten rid of it. Yeah, so that's
I have got rid of it every time. It just comes back
because you're just too angry. Makes sense. Yeah. Danger Mouse. So last time we saw you got out of superheroing to join some activists, and now you're back. What's up with that?
Well, I don't think I left superheroing. I left the team because the problems they were involved in seemed to be like we have to hit stuff, and we have to hit stuff very hard, and that's not really. That was kind of a bit over Danger Mouse's head. Really, he's not a fighter. Not really, not that hard, not like that, because the first session we were fighting, and that was what was happening. So it made sense that he would get out of this, and he went into activism, and he used his Danger Mouse identity to be an activist and fight the pigs and fight the power and fight the man and fight whoever was worth fighting. And he got into a lot of trouble because he was doing it alone. And at one point, he realized that he might draw back some heat onto his family, and then he had some suggestion by one of his teachers that he might go to the school because he had these weird powers, and she knew somebody who could help get him in, and now he's in a boarding school. He is living there. He is using his mundane identity of Rafael Montero. And he's, I don't know, I don't think he has revealed all that he can do. He has revealed that he can animate cartoon characters and stuff like that. But he's keeping stuff back. Because teachers are the man too, right?
Yep. They clearly are. I would say your instincts were probably right to get out of that team, considering like 2 of them have been ran out of town. Thanks to some shenanigans, thanks to some criminal called the Spider. Check out, this is the bit in the comic book where, like, check out issue whatever. Yeah, go to the YouTube channel. Yeah, and Regicide, I think we kind of got the long and short of it, that you kind of come into superheroing kind of like reluctantly, but you're not pursuing it. But you mentioned your mom / sister / originator is still off the coast of Prospect City. Like, how do you feel about that? Your mom, the Dread Queen, conqueror of 1,000 dimensions or whatever.
I mean, the relationship between the 2 of them remains complicated. She wants to diversify her arsenal, because again, she only inherited her peak physical abilities that are near superhuman and her affinity with machines. But at the other hand, she's an impressive leader with a vast arcane arsenal. So on that end, she feels underprepared. But at the same time, she's like, I kind of want to figure out exactly what is going with her. But we know the last time that she wanted to have a tete-a-tete with her daughter and what she did to get that. So maybe it's better if I pretend she does not exist for a while.
Yeah, good luck with that. The long and short of what happened is that, yeah, her mom kind of worked with the alien invaders to kind of draw her daughter in so they could have a chat. She kind of kept all the other superheroes prisoner to be like, yeah, come at me, because she her daughter was coming for her. All that just to have a chat. Doesn't know how email works, you know. When you conquer multiple dimensions, it's hard to figure out which communications work and which ones don't. But now her daughter's in a nice, safe place. Consultation evenings might happen. All right, so I should have asked each of you this before we jump back to Glow Train. Okay, here I want to ask something. Do you want your particular group to have already met before, or do you want to like just open up in, I don't know, detention where all of you are there for some reason? Because then we can just skip one of these steps. Okay, I got to put in Breakfast Club in the chat. I think how's feeling?
I like the idea of just meeting up because we're all I think being pretty new to the school and already haven't got detention is just exactly what Raphael would have happened to him. So
yeah, I'll let you all figure out like why you're all in detention. Yeah, because that's the thing. Your team is going to be either a club or a clique. That's part of the character creation. And there's a difference. Club is officially sanctioned by the academy, which means you can get resources off them. And clique, you're just a clique. You're just a group of friends.
I'm sure they would be happy to sponsor a detention club.
Okay, so I know where we're opening then. So one more thing before we get to like influences and stuff. There's a new addition in this playset, the faculty question. So if y'all go to the NPC tab on the character keeper, there's a list of questions here, and each of you is going to ask another player these questions. So think about which character is which and which questions you want to ask. Oh my god. And feel free to invent characters or use the list there, and then if you have questions on those characters, I'll tell you their deal. But yeah, I'll start. Since the last round I started with Sabine, I'll start with you, Glow Train. Ask a question to a player there, to another character.
Yes. Oh my gosh, these questions. Oh, who are the gossipy characters? Can someone just raise your hand if you think you're a gossipy character? Great. Danger Mouse. What's your like normal name again? Sorry, mundane name.
Raphael.
Raphael. Raphael. Which teachers do you think are hooking up?
Oh, I think let's see. I think that our gym teacher has the hots for Majestic Magenta because they're both kind of tough and they look good together.
Yeah, Majestic Magenta is the former sidekick of Infinite Violet, who we met in the previous session. Infinite Violet is a prick, and Majestic Magenta is a former sidekick who never broke out as a superhero. She's totally not bitter about it. And your gym teacher is a former street vigilante named Nictia. She had an owl gimmick. That was her thing.
Yeah, see, these two are totally throwing. I imagine that these two are always throwing shade at one another, and for some reason, Raphael thinks it's a facade. They just don't want to accept their feelings or something like that.
I don't know what throwing shade means, but I will write that fanfic with you.
They're just always heckling each other and calling each other names and just saying mean stuff about each other, mostly to the other's face.
Oh God. So I have to figure out, are they both soon there for each other? No, we'll figure it out and play. God, all right. So those two might are be hooking up. All right, I'll note that down. All right. So Freak. Yeah. Ask away.
Sorry, what? Which question?
If you go any question, ask.
Oh, I see. Sorry. I'd like to ask. Glow Train. Which teacher will just not cut you a break?
Let's see.
No, sorry. Can I have a second go? Sorry, I've thought of a better one. Which teacher do you have a secret crush on?
Obviously it's Wyatt, as he is very cute.
Yeah, we'll say like if he's kind of around the same age as Plath, so maybe a bit younger. Well, I don't know. It's up to you.
Not problematic at all. Yeah.
That is so weird. Oh my God, I didn't think about it. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Let me know if Wyatt has if they have superpowers or what or if they have something like that, or are they just a normal history teacher?
How can anyone just be a normal history teacher?
Fair enough.
With abilities. Let's say Wyatt has super speed.
Yeah. Okay.
Superpower for a history teacher.
that's actually really interesting then, because when you think history teacher and stuff, stuffy sort, but yeah, fast history teacher. That's interesting. All right, let me put that down. Okay, Regicide. What's your question?
So I want to ask Freak, which teacher do you secretly believe is a supervillain?
And again, feel free to invent other heroes if other teachers if
Yeah,
you have
I
a good idea.
Yeah, this has to be the head of security, I think. Who I'd quite like. Could it be Rook? Remember Rook?
Yeah, I remember Rook. It's just the thing is, in case Tim ever comes back, because Tim was meant to be on.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
So he would, but then again, he was thinking of doing a different character. But yeah, I don't want to use previous PCs just in case they might come back.
Okay. Oh, sorry. No, what was Rook? Was Rook not the mentor? The older mentor?
No, Night Falcon was the mentor.
Well, could Night Falcon be the head of security? Because I thought he was very dodgy when we met him.
Hey, he revealed his. Oh yeah, you weren't there when he revealed his true identity to everyone else. Yeah, no, that'd be cool because Night Falcon's retired. He got an injury fighting the Spider, so he spent all this time mentoring Rook. He's kind of he's blatantly a Bruce Wayne type. But since the Rook is, he is pretty much just Bruce Wayne with a cane. He is Batman beyond Bruce Wayne, actually. Now that I think about it, but since Rook is kind of stepped up, yeah, I can see him being. But you think he's secretly a supervillain?
Yes.
Oh gosh, that'd be interesting.
He was very dark in my brief brush with him.
Yeah, when he showed up on, because I included Nick Tia on because I thought the Rook Tim was bringing back the Rook and Nick Tia was gonna have ties to Night Falcon. But since Night Falcon's here, that'll be interesting because the one time
No, don't let me mess with that. If you've got a thought, let's make it Nictia then.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Nictia can be her own thing. I actually more interest. I like the idea of bringing Night Falcon back. For sure.
Okay, so I think that our head of security, do we know him as Night Falcon or is his secret identity?
I think because Night Falcon the name Night Falcon has some cachet in the supervillains superhero world. I think people know him as Night Falcon, but he's very secretive. Like, he is not Woo's brain. Feck off. Maybe people no. I think he's quite secretive. I think people kind of know it's Night Falcon because you see the signs and you see his like jet patrolling like Prospect Academy, but he's secretive. Yeah, speaking of use that rumor move. But definitely could be Night Falcon. He's a super villain. And last but not the least, Danger Mouse. You got a question for a player?
Wait, I was just making stupid jokes. Okay. I think, what did we have? Who hasn't been asked? I think it was either Regicide or Alan's character Freak. Who wasn't asked?
Regicide.
Regicide. So then I'll ask Regicide. I think Regicide, which teacher will just not cut you a break?
I think it's kind of obvious that it's going to be Majestic Magenta, but because we already put her to another question, maybe I'm going for something less obvious.
I'll just say your headmaster is from a different dimension.
Oh.
My summary for your headmaster, whose name is Magnus Gray, the stony-faced former ambassador from the Cobalt dimension turned lovable school headmaster. So
I'm undecided between Gray and Marston because supposedly I'm being forced to be here by Aegis. So actually, yes, let's go with Marston.
Ooh, okay, so Delilah Marston, she's ex-mob, she's an ex, but turned double agent for Aegis, who's now the liaison between the school and Aegis. She's the administrator. She's wily. She knows all your tricks, and she's a graduate of the Clean Slate program, which is like the reform program for super villains. And I guess she's a low mundane version of that. And I think, I think she's one of those people who thinks she's figured everyone out, including you, scion of a supervillain. And
maybe she's just hard on Regicide because she wants them to be better, because she sees the potential for greatness.
Well, I think that could be true. We'll play to find out. That's an interesting idea.
Consider what we saw about Regicide and her mother, and how the Doom genes are pretty active. I think trying to push her to greatness is a bad idea, but let's see.
That's interesting. Okay, so we'll skip. That's the kind of the main part. There's another extra move I haven't put in the character keeper yet. It involves tests. I'll talk about that later. Not as exciting as rumors, having to do tests, but let's do relationships actually, since everyone's kind of starting out. Well, actually, no. Do you want to start a detention, or do you want to just go straight to this newspaper club business that you're all chatting here? Because that means I kind of want to do relationships, so we can just hit the ground running. So not everyone has to be like, oh yeah, how are you, or whatnot. So we could skip over when the team first came together. We'll say you all met up in detention and became a newspaper club. If y'all want that idea, but we'll definitely do relationships then. If you're okay with that. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. So I thought you were frozen there because like you were very still, Agatha. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. So just detention, and there's no need to say you chose. Okay. So let's do relationships. Let's go left to right from the character keeper. Start with you, Glow Train. What are your 2 relationship questions?
Okay, one sec. Oh, there we go. Blank is helping me understand this weirdo future. I follow their lead.
Ooh. So
Okay. Actually, let me just look at both of my questions because I'm pretty sure Danger Mouse is going to be one of them because apparently we gossip together. And gossip is really comforting for me because I think it's the same from like when I was like old time high school and like current high school. I see someone important. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's definitely Danger Mouse. They're very cool. I don't think I'm into Dead Mouse, but I'm not telling Danger Mouse that I don't like that music.
what's your other question?
Oh, we're doing both. Okay. My other question is I save someone important to blank. They're now my biggest defender. Have anyone close to them that needs saving?
Yeah, you're all. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, everyone's kind of like loners. Oh yeah. Oh, Regicide has a list of people they respect. So yeah, Regicide. Do you have an idea for this?
Yeah, I think Socket, the eye that is rescued / prisoner on a small cleaning droid, maybe they probably get in trouble because oh, this is voice story technology, this is dangerous, oh, this is an eye, and there's always someone picking on Socket, and it's she's not with the burden of the schoolwork, she cannot attend. And one day she found out that maybe it was Glomtrain that protected Socket from people that were trying to use him for villainous purpose or just some ages grunts being overzealous.
Okay, so Socket is like sentient, right?
Yeah.
I understand. Okay. I think Socket and I are probably actually pretty tight. Like because Socket is clearly an outsider and like is like uncool / sometimes in danger, whatever. And I feel very much like, oh, I don't fit in. So then I'm like, let's just hang out. And I will have lunch while you don't eat.
Right, that's fab. All right. We'll do influence last. Let's do. Yeah, we're everyone else had relationships with other characters who aren't here, so we're doing everyone else's relationships as well. Regicide, what are your 2 relationships?
So Blank is the only one who understands what I'm going through. I told them which part of me I wish it was more like my parent. Oh, this is a hard one. I guess I'm going to pick Glomtrain because this is also this aspect of outsider. Because for Glowtram, it seems that I mix in quite well, but after they got close, she confided that, yeah, all this is an act. I don't mess this much. I honestly, I think I'm you just a few months ahead, to be honest. And I just wish I had the confidence of my mother.
That's rough.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Pretty bad.
So the next one, my parent once fought and trashed blank. I've got to find a way to make it up to them. We picked up Freak last time for this, so we can maintain that. That I
Yeah.
still own Freak, this is a continuous on us. Or unless Danger Mouse thinks that they went against the Dread Queen.
They might have inadvertently got in her way and stood up to her because he is snarky as hell.
Yeah. But I will say though, your mother was accessory to a regime that wanted to kill Freak and nearly did.
That fits.
Yeah, I think I own Freakle.
I kind of gone with the idea that Freak wouldn't appear very much.
Oh, you're Michael Manners.
Michael is the character. He may do freaky things, but I don't, because the nice thing about Casey is that she knows Michael.
That's true. We also
know Michael is Freak from a previous game.
Okay, so in a way, she feels like whatever she owned Freak, she repaid with Invasion, but she still owns a lot to Michael Manners.
All right, I'm down for that. Oh, this won't get confusing at all. All right, Danger Mouse. Yeah, your two relationships.
Okay, so I think the first one is you keep trying to impress Blank with your antics, and I think that has to be Regicide because, come on, that name just rocks. Just so hard. I mean, I went with Danger Mouse because I couldn't think of anything better, and she's Regicide. I have to impress her. Also, she's kind of, well, impressive. And I think I would have tried to pull Michael Manners into an awesome, if illegal, stunt because he seems so proper with his nice little British uniform and that accent, and I really think he has to loosen up.
No, I'm very much up for that because I think he's going to be mischievous.
Yes, I love that.
And finally, Michael. I should call you Michael for most of this then.
I thought about switching the names at the top of the sheet, actually. So I think we've already established previously that it's Casey Dread knew me before I changed. And for all she knows, I never did change and is probably curious why I'm at this school. And who comforted me when I was at my lowest. Now, previously, it was our guy from the future who told me things were a lot worse in the future. I'm inclined to say that when I've had a bad patch in the recent weeks, it was Glow Train who told me that things were a lot worse in the past.
In the 90s?
I don't know if that's exactly what I would say.
You know, I lived through the 90s.
All right. Okay.
I think this is probably objectively not wrong, but I don't know if that's how Enid would have thought about it. But I do think I'm cool with having comforted you, but maybe in some other way.
You may just have described what it was like in the 90s, and I've processed it. You know, negligible mobile phones, really poor internet connectivity. Social media was kind of really shitty. See what I mean? So you're just telling me about the past. I'm thinking, maybe it's not so bad now.
I inadvertently comforted you just by talking about how much I missed.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, you happy with that? I'll phrase it slightly differently when I write it up.
I'm very cool with that. I think that's so good.
You're all ridiculous. All right. One last thing is influence, and then I think that's influence, and we'll take a break and get to it. We'll wrap around back to the start of the character keeper. Go Train. What's your how does your influence?
Let's see. What? I don't know where to find that. Oh, okay.
Found it? Cool.
Yes, I found the section. Was there's like a thing that would draw from, right? I'm not going crazy.
No worries. Oh, as in it's in their sheet in the second one.
Yeah.
Page. Yeah. There.
Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. These people are my friends, my guides, the ones helping me find a better way, but I'm careful about whose guidance I follow. Give influence over you to 2 teammates. Okay, one definitely goes to Danger Mouse. I'm following their lead. I don't know about the other one. So you go by Casey and not Ksenia?
Yeah, Casey. I mean, to be honest, when people are pissed with me, they call me Xenia. But this is literally the name of my genetic donor. I mean, come on.
You're trying to get away from
I think
her.
there's a rumor she's called the Dread Princess.
I'm gonna make you roll for that when we start.
Yeah, if someone is doing that, someone is getting punched.
Is this the future version of when people call the people a frigid bitch? Okay. I don't know. I guess it could be interesting if it's Michael. Let's go with the logical choice. I could always just give Michael another influence over me later. So yeah, let's go with Casey.
All right, fab. Oh nope. Oh no, I accidentally clicked the program. Oh no, I'm launching Photoshop right now. Darn it. I accidentally clicked on that. Oh, God damn it, it's gonna wait for a bit. Let's keep moving. Regicide, Casey. Should call you all by your mundane names in school. Casey, how's your influence looking? Oh, get out of the way, Adobe.
Let me see where the influence is because I have way too many things on my sheet.
Yeah. Yeah. It's...
Seriously, what it is? Relationships, influence, moment of truth. Oh, can it be missing? Do I have to?
It should be. Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah, if you found it or have it.
Yeah. Here. This team may be the key to proving you're different from your parent. But you don't want to be defined by your peers either. So you give influence to 2 teammates.
So one is definitely going to go to Freak because of old teammate, and another is going to be for Glow Train because they are also define the expectations that people have about them. I mean, pretty much them on Plat, me on the Dread Queen, we both have a living, breathing reminder of what everyone expects us to become.
I've already got an influence on Regicide. Does that mean it becomes 2?
Well,
I know how it works mechanically, but like, I don't think that it'll do like it'll. I don't think that would.
Because I think that would mean that I could automatically begin to mess with Regicides, and it doesn't feel right. So I'll just leave it at 1.
Okay, then I'm gonna pick Danger Mouse because then I get the feeling that they are a rebel and they know a bit about social justice and activism, and I'm like, oh, these are kind of tools that my mother, because she's been ruling a country since she was 8, she never have to interact with this. This is good to know. This is really something that her brain will not even think about.
All right. Speaking of Danger Mouse, Raphael, Oh, yours is simple as well.
Yeah, it's truly simple. You care way more than you let on. Give 3 teammates influence over you. And I will choose Glow Train and Regicide and Michael.
Yeah, it's almost like you didn't have a choice in the matter.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think I did that voluntarily. Not because I had to. If I had to, I would have given my influence to, I don't know, Batman.
I don't know if he's a teammate of yours.
You mean
He's
Spring.
Which way?
He's Batman. He can have all the influence he wants because Batman.
Yeah, instead he's working as a head of security in a high school.
Well, he's an adult, so he has influence over us.
Oh yeah, true. He is an adult. That is how it works. Finally, Michael, how's your influence?
The logic would be that because I followed Danger Mouse into some escapade that got us into detention, that Danger Mouse has to have influence on me. But have you already got influence on me? I can't.
No, it means you have influence on Danger Mouse, but that doesn't mean Danger Mouse has influence on you.
No. I try not to care what other people think, even if you can't shut everyone out. Give influence to one teammate. So one of you has influence on me. Who doesn't currently have influence on me?
I don't.
Glow Train or Danger Mouse. Sorry.
Okay, well, I think it's logical that Danger Mouse will have influence on me.
Cool. Wait, no, I seem to have one on them.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Huh, I just put it there because I like that.
Then it's the fates have aligned.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry.
No worries. No worries. All right, so I think that's it for character creation, introduction, and stuff. Yeah, so we have. I'll say we'll take a break for 10 minutes because we've been sitting down for a long while, and then we'll set out. I kind of want to see. I want to see you all in the same place. And I want to see this newspaper club or detention or whatever name you give yourself, your clique or club in action. But yeah, we'll come back in like 10 minutes. Sound good? Cool. And 10 minutes it is. Fucking Woos brain.
Who's Wayne, the Wombat Man?
Oh God. All right.
I've switched Michael and Freak at the top of the sheet just to keep reminding myself who I am.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
If that's okay.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
While we're waiting for the others to come on, Leandro, I'm just I'm one short of an advancement, and I'm just thinking ahead. One of the options is to take a move from another playbook, and I'm kind of inclined to think about, but it depends on what you feel about this. There's the behind the mask move in the Janus, which might fit with the context, but you know, it is the key move for the Janus, so I don't want to step on potential toes down the road.
Yeah, but the thing is, if anyone else is jumping in this series, it'll only be for one session. I think everyone else here is on for at least 3 sessions. I think.
Yeah.
Missing the third.
Well, you know, mull it over in case it happens. I've got other options, but it did occur to me that given the way I'm trying to work Freak in this series, that might be logically appropriate.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, especially the kind of like with his story there. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, they'll think about it anyway, but I'm leaning okay for that. All right, so there's kind of 2 options. I'll give to you all on how to start this. You want to start in detention or in, because you're a club, you're a newspaper club. You've determined this in the chat. I think you're all down for being in the newspaper club, unless I missed something in that chat, like Photoshop is, oh, for fuck's sake.
I would like yeah, I would like to all be in the same club, but I think it would be cool to be in detention, because then to be like, are we all in detention for the same reasons, and then like who are we in trouble with? I kind of like that like dramatic conflict.
Ooh, yeah.
Honestly, it's all good. It doesn't super matter to me.
Yeah, no, okay, no, that's cool. That means like, yeah, I want to know why you're on detention. So, okay, all right. I want to ask each of you, why do you think you're in detention, and what does detention look like? Each of you can give me a detail of this room the 4 of you are in. So I'm gonna go backwards in the character keeper here. Michael Manners, why are you in detention? What does detention look like?
Can I start with what detention looks like? Because I'm just curious about putting out onto the internet bad British practice. So I think that this is a room with around the walls of which are little booths. And in detention, we're supposed to sit in this little booth. They're open at the back, obviously, but they're just separated. We're supposed to stay in these booths and do work, and be dehumanized and made compliant by this process. So that's where I'd like to describe a detail of detention. In terms of why I'm here, I kind of want to hand that one off to Danger Mouse, because I'm here because I got dragged into something that Danger Mouse did. So I'm
Wow,
here
that-
because I'm friends with Danger Mouse.
Jesus, that booth stuff is medieval. Yeah, speaking of Dangerous, Raphael, give me a detail
Yeah.
of detention and why are you here?
I think what we did, Michael and me, there is this mural in the center hall of some of the heroes of Prospect City, and they're mostly just establishment guys, right? Like corporate superhero stuff, because they're sponsoring the school or some lame stuff. So I kind of motivated Michael, or wrote Michael in to help me beautify them a little, improve them. Just paint some mustaches and put some curtains up, like skirts, like Scottish kilts or something like that, and just. Yeah, we were just having fun, and then the headmaster caught us, and he was not too amused. I don't know why. And he told us both that we should go to detention, and that's where we went because, well, okay.
Well, at least it's sensible. Oh, and give me a detail of what the detention looks like.
Okay, so we have this round room and those small niches, and I think in the middle of the room there is either it's the Killbot 2000 or whatever his name was, the gym teacher, maybe. No, who was that? Oh, the science teacher. No, I think it's just some kind of electronic device that is like a camera, and that is just like arbitrarily or randomly pointing a beam of light at us, like a scope light or like a sniper light, just to spook people.
In a true Prospect City fashion, that it's not fully working. Every 10 minutes or so, the light kind of blinks out. That's how you all converse.
Yeah, I think maybe so. One of us was an electro whisperer anyway, so you know.
You could throw, yeah. Oh, yeah, you could be. All right.
Oh yeah, Night Falcon can watch us, right? Cool. I like that. That's one of Night Falcon's gadgets, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I was also thinking of the Panopticon. Jeremy Bentham, you're into some weird stuff. Casey, where are you in detention, and what does it look like?
So there was some people that they were doing some rumors about her, and suddenly, who knows who, all the contents of their phones, photo folders, were just released on the school's Facebook page. I mean, how can that just have happened? And for me, who is being declared as the one responsible just because I'm capable to communicate with machines. This is stereotyping. This is discrimination.
Yeah, no, this is just Monster Hearts, is it? Masker Hearts? No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, and also, yeah, do you have any more details you want to add, or is this detention room enough?
Yes, because this is Prospect City, the heating system and air conditioner system is old, it's loud, and when it's winter, it's cold, and when it's summer, it's hellish.
Oh, God. Finally, Glow Train. Why are you in detention?
Well, I was debating between two things. One leaning more towards masks and one leaning more towards Monster Hearts. The masks option was that I think it was like I was hanging out, or I was going to go hang out with what's their name? With Socket. And then I found like people just kind of like doing whatever. Maybe like, oh, I know that maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it was just like I found people like bullying Socket, and I got into a fight. Monster Hearts one is I try to kiss Wyatt. Therefore.
Oh. Oh.
Since everyone's going in one direction, I suppose I shall follow lead because I follow lead.
You want to save trying to kiss Wyatt for when we see it on screen.
Yes. The Monster Hearts vibes.
Next week is Valentine's Day, just a reminder. So I think I'll give you like a moment to talk to each other on detention while this panopticon camera thing is on the fritz for like 10 minutes. There might be one or two other students there, but you know, you're kind of in your booth, but it's not going to stop the four of you, I guess.
Certainly not going to stop me.
Well, you see, Michael is supposed to be being compliant, so he will be compliant. But I do have an idea about messing with the video surveillance once everybody else in chat.
All right.
I don't know if I realized what this like light is that's going on. So I think I just get up to like go and chat with Casey. Hey, Casey.
Hey, what's up? Is it true what they've been saying about how you got here?
Saying what?
You know, about getting hot with your hot teacher?
Okay, I wish because anyway, there was no making out, but I'll keep trying.
Well, I have to appreciate your determination.
Thank you. So you'll help me, right?
Well, I will, at least if I find out something. But I mean, have you checked the competition around? I think
You mean the other teachers?
yeah, Magenta was being quite merciful with him the other day, asking if he had a date for Valentine's.
No, girl, listen. I was talking with Raphael about it, and he thinks that she and what's her name? I don't know. You know the teacher whose name starts with an N? He thinks that they're like banging.
Well, everyone thinks that. I mean, he has this 30 pages fan fiction that keeps pushing that he wants us to publish. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think they need some spell checking, but but the story's really good.
To be honest, I think it needs to get a bit more, lemon.
I'm like reaching out to like high five you. Yes. Okay, so how did you actually do that with the pictures?
She was like,
How do you do that? Okay, also, how do you find the pictures on your phone?
Oh, right, I forgot. So you see on your phone where there is the snake game.
Yeah.
On proper phones, you actually have a lot of folders like a computer, like Windows 95, and there you can actually see the pictures, just like you would on Paint.
But it's so small.
I know, right? It's amazing. I mean, come on, Socket. He's so tiny, and he has the knowledge of an entire world.
I guess that's true. I need to get a better phone, I guess.
I mean, they pretty much give them away if you get a contract that pretty much sells your soul. But
what?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much you sign that you are with them for 2-3 years, and they give you a smartphone.
Okay, I want to do that.
Oh, sure. I guess we have to do some shopping.
I feel like Michael will know a lot about phones, right? Michael seems
Oh,
very
yeah.
into computers.
I mean, yeah, I know him for a while, and always been the more quiet, well-behaved type,
Yeah.
which I don't know why he's here. I curious what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. But I see that he tucks his shirts in. So
Oh my god, yes, he's always so prim and proper. It freaks me out.
I mean, it's okay, I guess. It's kind of a nerd, but let's go ask him.
I mean, I swear that the other day it was raining and everyone had messy hair and whatnot. And I come out of the bedroom and I see him entering the building completely prim. I don't know how he does that.
Maybe that's his superpower.
Maybe
Like,
that's his
maybe try.
superpower. Yeah, maybe
He's
the.
obsessed with his clothes. That's
Oh
okay, I
my-
guess.
I mean, it's a style, but he's really well dedicated to that.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna now go to talk to Michael, I guess.
Yeah, go for it. I'll
And
Before we
I'm
get
gonna
to the-
gesture
go on.
to Raphael as well.
Ooh, okay. What's Raphael doing?
I think I would have gone to talk to Michael too, because, come on, I would have left a drawing of myself on my desk, for the camera it might look like I'm there. If the camera picks me up somewhere else, I'll tell everybody it was a glitch. So that's fine. And I'll walk over to Michael and I'll plop down on his table and I say, hey, that was fun. We should do more stuff like that.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm supposed to kind of just get on with school. I don't know why I said yes when you said to go and do that stuff, and all I did was hold the ladder. I think I'm just going to get into more trouble.
Come on, you're young. You're supposed to get in trouble.
No, but I'm not. Mrs. Smith says I've got to stop getting into trouble. I'm always getting into trouble. I just, why does trouble follow me around? And he begins to express that angry condition.
Oh, hey, man, chill. Come on.
What do you mean chill? I'm in detention. It's the first week of term. I've been here a week and I'm in detention.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. I mean, you've got a right to be angry. Stuff is bad. Things should be better. You shouldn't be in detention. I shouldn't be in detention. These goobers there on the picture, they shouldn't be on the wall. They did nothing for our society. They're just losers. They're just rich.
So shall we just go? Should we just leave detention?
Then we'll probably get expelled. And right now, consequences.
What if I could turn the camera off, sort of?
Oh, yeah, sure, do that. Cool.
Before we do that, I want to ask Raphael, were you trying to comfort or support Michael there?
Sure. I mean, I wanted him to calm down and to, I don't know, channel his anger into more productive things.
Right,
so I got to roll something, right?
Yep, you're gonna roll plus mundane to comfort or support.
I'm not that mundane.
Oh dear.
Well, it's okay. I can do it. No, I can't. I've got a 5.
Oh dear.
Sorry. Maybe I just dry them up with my whole talk of societal change and stuff like that.
Ooh. Yeah. So well, I think I'll save the consequence. I'll mark potential, and then I'll save the consequence of that for later. We'll keep the scene going then. So Michael, you're suggesting. What are you suggesting?
Look, I might be able to rig the camera so it looks like we're still here.
Cool. Yeah, do that. I mean, it looks like I'm still here anyway, but yeah. And I point over to you where Raphael is kind of sketchy and drawn looking. Raphael sits at the desk, kind of like dead or something.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Are Casey and Agatha coming and Glow Train coming across, or have we got time to do this bit of jiggery pokery first?
I don't know. I guess it's up to Leandro.
Let's say we'll give you a moment to catch up before you get to the jiggery pokery, because I like seeing y'all talk to each other.
Okay. Hey, Michael.
Yeah, what?
And I think I turned to Casey. I'm like, see?
Hey, Casey.
Hey, Raphael.
Hey, Enid, right? Enid. Cool.
So, what's up?
We're in detention because we made a statement about society, which apparently is not covered by the First Amendment in here.
Oh.
And Raphael's convinced me I should mess with the camera.
And can you do it?
Yeah.
It's my thing.
I'm going to turn around to Casey. I'm like, see?
It is his superpower. He's a computer geek.
It looks like it. Cool. Do you have an extra phone, by the way?
An extra phone? No, I don't carry one.
Okay. I'm looking to get a new phone.
Oh, I can get you one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do I have to sign my soul
I'm
away?
just sick of being in this room. I want to get out of this room. I need to get out of this room.
We can go to the city and find you a new phone.
Yes, yes. Let's truant.
Kind of want to like.
Okay.
I kind of want to like use my power to read your mind.
That sounds like you're trying to pierce the mask.
Oh. Huh.
Let's say, yeah.
Well, Pierce the Mask. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the list, because Pierce the Mask is like, what's your real plan? But
Okay,
everyone
all
would
right.
be like,
If it's a specific question, then it's going to unleash your powers. Then, since you're using your powers.
okay.
So it's
What's unleash your powers again? Is that freak?
yes.
I think mine is freak. Oh, it's a 0. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh. Oh, it's supposed to be lavender. Okay, I rolled a 5.
First, mark potential. And I think what's gonna happen is, well, you're all so caught up in your plotting for truancy that you don't notice that the camera has actually sunk to the ground now, and it's on the ground. And by the time you're kind of like, yeah, let's go, a platform has risen up, and on that platform is your headmaster, Magnus Gray, has kind of risen up from the ground. Like the camera went down, and again it came up. Your headmaster. So Magnus Gray is a tall, broad fella in a very nice maroon suit and a tie, and he is like made of this. And his face is like, he doesn't have hair. His face is rock. It's like rock and metal. It's like this rust-colored rock, and he's got these eyes that you swear fire is coming out of his eyes, and he rises up from the ground, and he's looking at the four of you who are kind of standing, and he's like, well, I just thought I would pay our newspaper club a visit, but it seems you all have other plans. And there's a student you don't know shouting like, yeah, they wouldn't shut the heck up, from the back.
Hello, Mr. Gray. How are you doing?
And Casey speaks to the student. You're being too comfortable for someone that has a phone and a social media account.
And when he sighs, you can see like his breath is like brimstone, and so.
You realize it's pretty hot in here, right? Because the AC isn't working.
Mr.
Montero.
Montero. No, that was me. That was me out of character, like forgetting your last name.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I think, Mr. Montero, we all have to work with what we have, and it was my fervent hope that the four of you would learn to keep to yourself for even just a few hours. But it seems my trust was misplaced.
Isn't teamwork king, really, in the super powered persons? I mean, somebody said that. Some teacher said that superheroes have to have teamwork.
I feel like you're doing a move, but no, not yet.
No, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to provoke, not provoke him.
Are you? Totally.
I mean, I just kind of want to provoke him, but I'm really too scared.
Okay. What do you want to provoke him? You just general provoke him, or the move provoke him?
No, I don't want to do the move provoke him.
Okay.
I don't know. I just. That's just Raphael. He just can't. He just has to mouth off.
Okay. What's gonna happen is he's very suddenly go clap his hands, and it's a big clap because he's a big solid metal arms, and he's all metal and rock. So when he claps, the whole room kind of shakes, and you hear the student going, "Oh, for feck's sake, I'm never gonna get any work done." Student in the back. We'll give him a name later. And I was like, capital dear Mr. Montero, teaching me the lessons taught in this school. Clearly, I have forgotten how the school works. So why don't you, the four of you, tell me, show me how teamwork is done then. By the end, I'll give you all a test then. Prospect City is in shambles at the moment, thanks to the current alien invasion. So to teach you all, to remind you all just what it is to be a hero, I presume, which is to be a service to the public, I'm giving you all a test. There is a school that was destroyed out in Prospect City, and I'm giving you until end of the month to help rebuild that school, and to the best of your abilities. It shouldn't be too hard now for the four of you. Yes.
I'm sorry, isn't that construction work kind of thing? I mean,
It's being a service to the community.
Yeah, but we're superheroes, not construction.
Hey, Raphael, what you tell me? What did Marx really said about the aggregation of value? And the ceasing of work for profit and reducing costs to zero. I think this calls for a union meeting.
Okay, let's get on with that then.
Mr. Gray? Is that
yeah.
I'm just trying. Does he go by Mr. Gray or?
It's unscrutable. It's unscrutable. Whatever you call him, he's just gonna look at you like.
Mr. Gray, I think this is a great idea. I think superheroes should be of a service to the people because we have special gifts. And like Gandhi once said, with great power comes great responsibility.
Was that when they killed his uncle? I don't remember my history. It can be very distracting around the teacher.
Maybe. I don't know, Casey. I think you're probably right. However, I do think that we will need better resources. For example, my power is not conducive to doing a lot of physical labor. As you know, Mr. Gray, I can have the power of telepathy. And I say that like kind of quietly, which, doesn't really move objects. I want to help, and I think that should be like a school-wide thing, and I think you should give us resources for that. And I would love it. I would love to do this.
Yes, Mr. Gray. Will you give us permission to organize the students' labor?
That's a great idea.
I
Kate.
like this idea. Yes.
And I am provoking.
Yeah. Are you provoking with Savior?
Yes.
Yes, that was a speech of morality and heroism, totally.
Yes. If I
All
quoted
right.
Gandhi, it's a speech of morality and heroism.
That's fair.
Okay.
Let's see if you do better.
Savior. Oh, it's 1. Yay. My mundane is 3, by the way, because I shifted it up when I did the what's this thing.
Oh, yeah.
I totally forgot to do when I was asking Casey about like what I should do with a or whatever.
Okay. Let's go.
Oh, I rolled a 3.
Wow.
+1.
And you all don't have enough team to help. You only have one team because you've not met a battle. I don't know. Is this battle with a dangerous foe? Probably. So no.
Yeah.
I could even try to give you +2 for the team thingy, but I think
It's not going to work. Mark potential. And I think at that, Mr. Gray kind of like is full. He's fulminating. That's a great word, fulminating. You can faintly hear like the rumblings of his internal workings as atomic fusion and fission keeps happening inside him. That's how it works.
I will whisper to Michael, "Quick, get this thing to blow up to distract him."
Well, yeah, that is interesting because Michael's deliberately not been taking part of this conversation. Instead, a small trickle of nanites has run down the inside of his trouser leg and across the floor into the device that the headmaster rose out of the ground on. And I would like to unleash my powers to mess with it and cause smoke to emerge from it.
Before you do that, I want to get to the consequences of like what of this failed roll. First off, you're gonna take a condition because what the head says is that is certainly a capital idea, Miss Park. But I would like to believe that what part of the lessons we teach here in Prospect Academy is that sometimes help won't come readily to those who ask for it. Sometimes the chips just don't fall down the right way. And so you have to struggle. And we do believe that a little bit of struggle builds quite a lot of character. And the 4 of you are so resourceful. As the newspaper club, you must have connections, you must have resources. So I'd say whatever resources this school have are already tied up. After all, we are arranging for the dance next week. We are trying to combat the interdimensional portal in the gym. Budget day has come and it is a warpath. You are all lucky to not be party to what's happening in the teacher's lounge. But so resources are tied up. So unfortunately for this test of yours, you'll have to make do. And I'm gonna give Glow Train a condition. Yeah. You pick a condition. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, did you want to pick one for me?
No. I was gonna ask you how you're feeling.
I feel really insecure, because I was like trying to make a cool speech and then didn't go over so well, and now I just seem like kind of dumb in front of my peers, so I feel really like insecure about it.
I'm sad. So, you guys say something, Casey?
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Gray. So what you're saying is that all resources of the school are allocated, and so we have a legit authorization to procure resources outside of school grounds.
I think at that, Raphael will pick up and say, "Oh, I like that. Is a great idea. We will do that." And he smirks at the head of the teacher thingy.
Yeah,
Headmaster. Sorry.
Yeah, Headmaster Gray. His face is impassive again. It's a rock. But he's looking at you, Casey. It's like, well, I believe that of all students, you're certainly smart enough to know what you're doing, Miss Svetnovodred.
Oh yes, I can be quite resourceful if one is willing to turn out a blind eye to certain unorthodox approaches. And she winks.
Well, we do promote a sense of flexibility here in this school. Michael, you're still gonna go on with your plan? You want to send the head up in smoke? Oh, this is gonna end well.
Because I am still angry, and I want to clear that condition, probably to make room for it again, by breaking someone or hitting someone. Now, I don't think I want to hit him, but I do want to break something.
Okay, all right.
So I think I'm unleashing my powers.
Go ahead.
Roll plus freak,
Okay.
which is 12.
Oh,
Roll plus freak, on a hit you do it. So did he come up on a seat and did he stand up?
he's standing on a platform.
Then the platform begins to sink into the ground with smoke coming out of the bottom of it.
I think as he's saying, like, well, then, children, you have your test, and as it's sinking, as it's smoking, he's trying to no sell it. It's like, you receive information on blah, blah, as he's sinking, and he's just standing there, still talking, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna let this go. I'm not gonna let this hit me. As it closes up, and the student in the back is like, yo, what is up with you people?
What? We're the Detention Club, okay? Leave us alone. Be cool somewhere else, or try to be. Guys, it seems we have gotten out of detention because we have to go now and procure resources. So, well, I think Enid needs a new phone. That's the first order because we need to coordinate ourselves.
Well,
Right?
how about we try to get Gloomtrain the most kick-ass phone that we can imagine?
I love the way you think, Casey. You're amazing. Casey,
First, before that, I'll tell you the mechanics of how this test works, because this is a new mechanic in Phoenix Academy.
Oh.
There are tests. Let me read the text. At the start of the session, if the time has come to prove your worthiness, which you brought on yourself here, the GM tells you what test looms on the horizon, and the GM chooses one label that reflects a test or project assigned by the faculty to the students on the team. So yours is to help rebuild this school. And that's under, outreach programs where students must learn to value the normal citizens of the city. So that means it's a savior test. So at the end of this entire series, so at the end of the 4th session, you're going to roll that name label. So you better darn make sure that label is high by the time we get to the final session, depending on how shifts work. So you got to keep your savior up, which for some of you, it's going to be no problem because some of you have moves involving savior. Some of you don't. So that's the test. And is that okay for everyone? Oh, all right. I got to BRB for a moment. Yeah, so that's how the test worked, and you can spend team at the end of the session at the test to help each other out.
So when the test begins, it's considered engaging a fool.
Oh God. Maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't say. But yeah, so that's how tests work here. Go keep your saver up. So I mean, in fiction, you're still gonna be doing stuff to do this test, and go with other shenanigans. Like there is a dance. I might save that for the last session because I don't know. It might be too quick to do it next session. Oh yeah, I'll save that for the end. Yeah. So it's a long time to prepare because I don't want. Oh, go on.
Don't do it on the third session, please.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think it'll go well on the end because then we've got two things going along. Haven't we? We've got rebuild the school, but we've also got the melodrama towards the dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I like that.
Yeah, man, this is just Monster Hearts for now, is it?
It really is.
It really is. No, I need to figure out how to bring back the shenanigans. There's that student at the back is like, wow, you're all really smart, still plotting while in the detention room, aren't you?
Yeah, we are really smart. Hey, are you allowed to talk to us? Because we have a task. You have the task to concentrate on your stuff, right?
Let me describe this person if he's going to keep talking to you. You notice him. He is wearing... He's wearing a cloak and a hood. Like, it's not even a hoodie. It's a hood. And he's kind of... He's
like
hunched.
Arrow.
Yes, exactly like Arrow, because he's got a hood and he's got like straps on. You know him as Talon. You know him. He's part of a clique called the Shadows of Justice. They're basically. Oh yeah. We're describing the guy who keeps shouting at the back. He's basically Arrow. He's got like a hood and straps and leather armor on. His name is Talon. He is part of a clique called the Shadows of Justice. They're ninjas, basically, or they think they're ninjas.
Do they all watch anime?
No, they watch the CW.
Yeah, that's what they say. Hey, how about if your friends learn about your Naruto Bleach / fic?
I think Talon. You do say that to Talon.
Yes.
I think he's like, well, joke's on you. I believe in my friends because they are my power and I am theirs. So whatever you say to them is not going to affect any of them. So it's fine.
Hey, didn't you get the part where you're supposed to be quiet now? Talon? Just asking. Or are you a rebel as well? Just want to position you in the whole hierarchy here.
Me and my kin, we fight for justice, Raphael.
Yeah, sure you are. How much did that cloak cost? Did you make it yourself? Or did you buy it in a store? Or did some Chinese sweatshop workers make it for you? Shadow of Justice.
He stands up. He holds his hood.
Yeah, I'm standing up.
He's a white. He's a white guy, obviously. He's like, I'll have you know, all of our clothes are ethically sourced. They are ethically sourced.
Okay. I don't believe you. So what are you gonna do? Hit me?
No, because that would be the wrong time to do it. Danger Mouse.
I don't think he knows who I am.
Oh, yeah, Raphael. Raphael Montero. You are marked to us as a scoundrel, as someone who would disturb the peace.
I'm a scoundrel. I love it.
Okay, I think we're supposed to be superheroes, and we're supposed to fight villains and not...
Look at him. Come on, look at him. He's a villain in the making.
Come on, let's not make assumptions about people. We went through this, Raphael. That's extremely rude and inappropriate.
Okay. Sorry. That your ass.
He doesn't accept your apology. He just puts his hood on again and it's like, well, your business is clearly done. You should leave the rest, you should leave us already since you've been given a task. And
Come on,
leave us in
gang.
peace.
Let's go build a school.
Yeah, let's go build a
Yeah.
school. How did that guy end up in detention anyway?
Yeah, we need to get a very special phone. Oh, Talon, you should update the fig. It was finally getting good. And she leaves.
He's sitting down in a huff and he's muttering to himself. Oh, go on.
So, Raphael, is this how people, like, kids talk? Because Talon kind of talks like...
Nah, he talks like he's read too many comic books, really. Or he's, I don't know. I have not heard kids talk like that outside of the school, really.
So you shouldn't talk like that. You shouldn't make a lot of statements.
Nah, you better not, because it comes across as a bit of you. I don't know. I mean, I make a lot of statements too, because I'm political. But I don't know.
Only if you're political?
Huh?
So only if it's a political statement, then you should?
Kind of hard to say, actually. Maybe I've overdone it there with this guy, but he rubs me the wrong way with his ethically sourced cloaky thing, because that's costs a lot of money, really.
Also, the thing with him and his crew is that they can play pretend. They can, for this is okay, because then they get home and they put their cloaks up and they can live without prejudice and all benefits of their privilege. So they are pretty much slamming with this stuff. They don't really fight the fight.
They don't have to lose a lot.
Did Regicide get any positive press after the last session? Because I think what happened was they qualified as real heroes on that occasion, didn't they?
Yeah, I'd say so, because again, Prospect City doesn't have that many heroes. So when someone leads the charge to beat back the invading force that took over your city, I'm sure Regicide got some press for that.
So we leave, and as we leave, I'd like to say to Glow Train, to Enid, the headmaster really shouldn't have talked to you like that. That was really not nice, what he did to you, because I thought you were making a decent point.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you.
I just hope you feel a bit better now.
Are you comforting and supporting me?
Absolutely.
Wait.
All right, roll plus mundane.
What you don't know is my mundane is -1.
Wait.
Oh, 6.
Ooh. You have one team. I think I don't know if it works. I don't know if it works outside of fights. I'm gonna let it go. Because there's no assist here. I don't think so. No, you're gonna let that. I'm not sure. Actually, I know you get team when you get into a fight, but
I always let it just do whatever.
Yeah, I think
fast and loose with rules. So
yeah, I think because every session you start with one team anyway, so anyone can spend that to assist. Because otherwise, it's hard to get to help or assist anyone outside of fighting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I don't think you're going to get into a fight now, so you can spend that one team, and you'll get it back next session anyway. So, who wants to help?
I know a very
that was a one-to-one conversation, but never.
Oh.
Okay. So I
help.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. All right. One by one. Okay. Agatha, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask, can I help? Okay.
Technically, you are helping his role. Yes. Okay. All right. And the nice thing with that, you don't have to roll.
Oh, okay. So do I? And don't you have? Oh, you don't have influence over me. That's why. Oh, So you can add 1. Yeah. Okay. So can I help? Is that allowed if I'm a recipient of this confidence support?
Yeah, it just says give +1 to their roll. And I'm gonna let it slide.
Okay.
I'm gonna let it slide because it's more interesting for me to this. I mean, I know what I can figure out something will happen, some terrible thing will happen. But yeah, if you want to bump that up to a 7, I'll let it go. I'll let you spend that team.
Okay, support. Let me just.
Okay. Well, my best effort to get myself some potential has instead crashed and burned.
Did you want the potential?
Okay, maybe it won't help.
Well, hang on. I don't need that help. Oh, no. On a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels if they open up to you.
Well, that's the thing. You got a 6. If that's not helping.
Yeah, that's how you would get potential. By failing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I was keen for you not to add 1 to it. But
okay. All right. So you want to let that fail?
Yeah, I can not help you. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So mark potential, and I think
okay. So it's failing. Can I illustrate my response then?
Yeah. Go on. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm like, that's very nice of you. And
Mark,
I reach out and I like pat you on the shoulder, but like very slightly, like.
Which I think is probably Michael was hoping for a better response because he knows there's a dance down the road.
Aww. Oh yeah, there is a dance down the road. Mark a condition there. I think that's the worst that'll happen. This is not a hard move, but yeah. Yeah.
Insecure.
How are you feeling?
Insecure.
Oh, no.
Hey, it's not angry.
For once, yeah.
And now you're both insecure and can't bond over that.
Okay, so I think we're nearing time. So what we're gonna end with this is Regicide's role to source their resources.
Cool phone.
And get a cool phone for Glow Train.
I'm gonna get you the best phone. So there is this guy. His name is Whiteout. And he's some kind of activist hacker that discovered something that kind of changes his perspective of reality. And since then, he has some kind of weird internet powers. The thing is, before he went full supervillain, he had some very nice toys. And I bet he must have some killer construct phone.
Ooh, all right. Give me that roll. That's if there's villain, roll plus danger.
9.
There we go. All right. On a 79.
So was that team?
Okay, all right. So since we didn't spend that team, you can spend that team now, because on a 79 you're gonna leave evidence that you've been there. But if you bump up to a 10, that means you get the stuff. You get the cool phone.
So who helps?
Yeah, who's gonna help in this? Like,
I could help you because illusion powers might help infiltrating some secret hold or something. And also, there is a dance coming up, and I really want to talk to you. I mean,
and you want to impress Regicide.
I totally want to impress Regicide. So I roll with support 8. What do I roll that with?
Oh, you just spend the team, so it's not a roll.
Oh, okay. So I'll spend the team, and I'll aid you with some spray power stuff. I'll really go to town.
For further notice, the team counter is on the very right hand side in the character keeper.
I see.
Oh, it's also linked to the roll for your party there.
Yep.
I need to figure out a better place to put that, but for now it's there. So okay, so Regicide, you got this. Describe Whiteout space and the phone. Actually, I'll let Glow Train describe the phone she gets. But
yeah, I was going to suggest that Agatha should.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think what you get me is not physically a phone; it's a choker, and because you wanted to help me get that 90s vibes back. And so it's just like choker, and then I'm supposed to activate it. So you can only really use it if you have psychic powers. So because so I can access it by like telepathically using it, so I don't ever touch it, and then it would like pop up like in front of me, and only I can see it. But the interface is remarkably similar to like a Google phone.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap up close around there. I think you all, with the four of you all bonding. I'll leave one last bit. Just one last thing, because I think there's, if I made my calculation right, there is one failed roll that I did not account for. So no, this isn't gonna affect you, but this is something you kind of pick this up, Glow Train, with your telepathy. You hear this kind of frenzied, this kind of chattering, frenzied voice just going like, "Get away! Get away! Get away! Get away!" And you see like kind of like a crash coming from, like, let's say you're coming out of White Houses, wherever they are in Prospect City, and you kind of hear a crash to your right, and you see a superhero chase is happening. Proper like big superhero chase, but it's not. It's more a chase as so much the supervillain, who you all notice is this bird creature being tossed into a car, smashing very horribly against this car, and striding up towards the bird creature, who's like a man what is like a bird. Stand up to it is as actually, Glowchain, what does Plath look like?
Does Plath look like? Like a Starbucks barista?
Wow, we're that pure millennial vibes, aren't we?
Yeah, that's I'm going for. Yeah, I think I can like find a picture of what she doesn't wear a costume. Even like Glow Train does, but Plath does not. Yeah, I think she's the one that's like wearing like she wears plaid, and she has just like she just looks like a barista. But what distinguishes her is like when you just meet her eyes, you immediately feel like you want to look away.
Yeah, and I think you all four of you see this as this bird creature kind of like is scrambling against the car as this unassuming looking barista, but clearly Enid Park, decades older, just striding up to it, just staring it down, as if her very eyes is pinning this creature to the ground. And I think we'll leave it there. Tune in next time, see how this all resolves. Thanks very much for those who are watching. Thanks for my lovely players for just being awesome. I'm gonna stop the broadcast, and then we can talk to each other and tell me what y'all want to see and all that. But for now, say goodbye to YouTube. Bye, YouTube.
YouTube.